blab the bottom 2023 pa Hogbaza Nyaglo apa Karojinya apa Tinzu la Fugo Young River Agblor arise in unity for progress and development. Agblor arise in unity for progress and development. La Bagbama Nyaglo Yakoba Agblor Biomi Tokla La Rakaoma Hana Dua Tuturo Pledua Pongobay Nyeda Azaya Goma Hoyime Plediodu Fakaka Bosan Apopoklo Dorada Amukatonji Maho Dakafifia Afimia Goma Romani Kum for Duazana Asanyanko. Let me honey see at your name Apomato. Tanya Doha Dam Ashina Nyatogi Ga Raka Nyatogi Raka Shionabe Togi Sidro Kokoroko Tonya to Ovi Kajibo Afiko Naina Blakusu Ta Mikatanya to Akwadada Abu Nyatogi Sidro Kokoroko No Baro Azabo 2023 Bao Bajojo Za Agba Yariani Yeah, Nanaka Bagala Barakashi Ogawo. Together as I Duakata, Sigene, Robert Kingdom Akata, Miamayo, Duakata, Mikatane Igara, Hogbe Pakiji, Avaru, Azat. As a guy like Magoji. As a talker, she can Anongona as Okata, Adongona as Okata. Na Hoba Jojoza Agba Afiga Yogala Yenya Ibeto Moyona Berkovi Kimebe Garu Bini Hobalele Konbi Sidro Kokoroko Atotolia Aba Azae Yoja Goma Aruru Lushiani Konsana Azarurua Fiemi Baroba Miewe Wodafiato Adagato Nyalakamagali Amaraka Nagaploto Nabako Nubelisha Unche Nyagba Jailo Yasha Kone Todi Sibogo Gogo Etonia Jufrana Yasha Kone Todi Yashi Ate Kenya Ayura Nyabo Wana Ojenu Mate Akajiba Kapuema Miti Ato
I am Dutor Torgbui Wenya III, and so that presupposes or suggests to you that there was the first Dutor Wenya I, and there was Dutor Wenya II. Dutor Wenya II was enthroned in July 1956, and there was Awamafia Adelaja II, who was also enthroned December 1956 on the lap, on December 1957, sorry, on the lap of Dutor Torgbui Wenya II. And so there's no confusion at all. And when he was enthroned, he worked with the uncle. You know, Wenya dynasty is the uncle to the Sri or the Awomafia dynasty. And so always they're enthroned on the lap of their uncle. And so they work with him. And so there's no confusion. The hierarchy of Anglo kingship is there. It's established from the beginning. Dutor Torgbui Wenya I was the one who established the kingdom and was the first king. And when the nephew came to join him, of course, he also was enthroned later after the death of Wenya I as the Awomafia. And so when the white people took over the reign along the slave coast, which this place is designated from Elmina all the way to Dahomey, was designated as the slave coast. And so they introduced the paramountcies. So they made him a paramount chief. And so a paramount chief as an administrative head. But then there's a customary overlord, that is Dutor Wenya I, on whose lap he must be enthroned. And so that is the clarification. Today marks a special occasion for the celebration of Hogbe Festival. This is just the launching. Hogbe Festival is just about the migration story or remembrance story of the Dogbo Elders and their related people. Now, the people that are called Anglo today, they were called Dogbo Elders at Ngoche, where we came from. And the leaders of this group are Dutor Torgbui Wenya I and his nephew, Srigan I, that is Torgbui Sri I. And so this celebration of festival has been put in place annually to remember the efforts of our forefathers and forebears. And annually the people of Anglo celebrate this festival. As you all know, the festival is celebrated anytime by people to raise funds for development purposes. And so ours is not different. This year's Hogbe Festival is being celebrated on the theme Anglo Arise in Unity for Progress and Develop. So we are calling for unity among the people of Anglo, and we are calling for development. And so we are inviting everybody all over Ghana and abroad to come and witness the cultural, the richness of the culture of the Anglo people. And then we are also calling for support in terms of finance, so that there are a number of development projects we want to undertake. Some are in progress, and which we need to complete, like the community center projects. And then the Hogbe Park itself, we also need an astroturf to make it beautiful, because Anglo Kingdom is the oldest kingdom in the whole of Ghana, followed by Ashanti Kingdom and the Dangbo Kingdom. And so it appears that we are lagging behind. So we are waking up as a giant, a sleeping giant, waking up this time around, take our primal place in history of Ghana, in the history of Ghana. So this year's Hogbe Festival is having a new face. So it's a new branding. It's not what we used to witness. And so you see that we have unveiled a new logo, and that marks a new beginning, the injection of new energy into the celebration. Another takeaway for this year's Hogbe Festival is the food bazaar that we want to organize. What it means is that we are going to showcase the Anglo kitchen. Of course, without missing words, Anglo kitchen is the richest in the whole of West Africa, if not Africa as a whole. Because if you take one produce like corn, you can do about 45 dishes from this corn. And that is how rich Anglo kitchen is. If you're talking about sauces, soups, gravies, and the rest, you cannot mention the number. And so we are inviting everybody to come. The celebration is in November, as we all know. There are a lot of line-up programs. We are going to do competitions in terms of quiz, beach parties, music parties, and music festival. And we are going to do football, sports, competitions, and so many things. So it's a very rich celebration that we're going to embark on this year. And so we invite everybody, the gentlemen of the media, the ladies of the media, we are inviting all of you and to be our partners, to partner us in this celebration. The main aim, as usual, is to unite all the Agblor citizens, home and abroad, bring them back home, and then reminiscent on the exploits of our forebears from Hogbe Launch all the way to this place, to showcase our culture, tradition, our way of life, cooking, food, etc. The more important thing is that we want to use it as a platform to raise funds for development projects. Very good. Thank you very much for the question. You see, before I assume the position of traditional leadership, I am also a lawyer by training, and so I'm an advocate. And so I used to do cases along this coast. And anytime I visited here, the Timi youth approached me with a peculiar problem that there is a stagnation of progress and development in the kingdom. And then they were demanding accountability of leadership, from leadership. And so this is a matter that has been hanging for all this while. Last year, there was a demand through a press conference, a demonstration that was held in front of the Agblor Traditional Council, and where the youth leaders demanded accountability for the management of the proceeds of the annual Hogbe Chocho celebration. And I believe that this clarion call has been ignored for all this while, and which forced them this time around to go to court, which is the appropriate forum for them to have their leaders account for their stewardship. And I believe that whatever it takes, leadership can just tender account to court. Leadership can just call the youth and tender account that, well, this is what we have been doing so far. We have audited account. This is how much we've got. This is how much is left in our coffers. This is what we intend to do with it. Definitely, if it's clear enough, why not? The youth that took the matter to court will go and withdraw it, but without rendering account. And then they also know they have entitlement as citizens of Agblor. And of course, it is their future. And so I believe this matter is not a small issue. And I believe the corporate Ghana that's, put a hand in the celebration of Hogbe Chocho Festival yearly is also expectant of accounts of transparency in the handling of the funds which were channeled into this celebration. So I believe it is in our own interest, collective interest, for accounts to be rendered by the management. Yes, when I was enthroned last year, this year from April, I inaugurated a new governing council under the leadership of Dutor Torgbui Wenya III, my good self. And at the back of it, there were a lot of committees which were set up. And one of them is the new Hogbe Chocho Planning Committee, chaired by an able chief and academic, Professor Torgbui Damaji IV, who is the chairman of the committee, assisted by Torgbui Patamia IV. And these two gentlemen have been in the planning organization, Torgbui Damaji, for example, since the 70s. He had been part of Hogbe celebration, one way or the other, planning aspects. And then the previous one, that is under the leadership of our Mafia and Abadada Gwesha the second, they were also part of it. And so they brought that experience to bear. So they are not new people at all. And so what we are doing, people do not understand, but you see, we extended a hand to them that, look, let's do it together. And so that bring people, and we also bring people. So we have a joint committee, and then we put something new, and then we try and see how the previous administration could account, and then the new committee will take over. But of course, there was feet dragging. And you know, we cannot wait because the youth expect a lot from us. So we have to take the bull by the horn. And we hope that what we are doing, one way or the other, they'll come and join. So we do it together. As for funds, it's something that you can account for. So I don't think it's a difficult thing. All these funds that are given, they're not given in physical cash. They're funds that are given in checks, routed through banks, and all that. So there's a paper trail. And so I believe that the right thing must be done. And we intend to do the right thing.
Oh, wow. This year's edition of Hogbe Launch 2023 is very dear to my heart because this is the first time that we're going to, me and Dutor Torgbui Wenya III, we're going to try our best and bring the festivity to every Agblor person. So I'm really proud to be in the helms of affairs. So let me just take you through the festivities that we have. The first one is, I believe that before you start anything, you need to clean where you are. Because of course, we're going to have so many people coming to visit us for a whole week. So we really need to make sure that everywhere we are is clean as possible. So the first thing that is on the 27th of October is the cleanup. Then we have the mini Deba. And I hope you guys will be there because that is the beginning of the festival itself. The 1 week, I think that is the beginning a bit of it. So you need to be there. And then you also can join us on the beach. Because I know that normally, Agblor Lodge, they do the keep fit and all that. But we think, me and Dutor, we think that Agblor has so many beautiful beaches. So we would love you guys to come and see the beaches that we have and play some beach sports with us. So we have beach volleyball, beach football, you name it and name it. So for us, you can play it and it's on the beach. That is what we're going to try our best to do. Then we have the Monday, which I really think that is one of the genius ideas of my king, to have a king's conference. So he's going to have a king's conference, and all kings, especially Agblor kings from Togo, Benin, even all the way to Nigeria, will be invited. I know that we do have communities around the world, which is Agblor communities, and I can say that, knowing my Dutor and knowing what he stands for, he would want to bring everybody together. So this conference is calling out to every Agblor or anyone who is interested in what Agblor stands for is invited to this conference. Then I am going to have the women's conference, and trust me, that's going to be a conference every girl needs to be at. We're going to have Thursday, and that Thursday also we're going to have a health screening and legal clinic and a legal clinic. I don't know if you know that, but my Dutor is actually a legal person. So he wants to put up a legal clinic. So if you have any issue, I think I'm actually speaking a lot of English, right? Because I'm trying to sell this to every person. If I speak of her, it might be limited. So I'm trying my best to just make sure that everybody gets it. You have a problem, come. My Dutor would help that. My Dutor will help that. We are going to have career empowerments. These are things that I believe that are the new innovations that my king and I are bringing to the table. And I hope that would give us a little bit of education and understanding and development of our Agblor. I can go on and on, but I know that my Dutor has a special thing that he goes like, my food bazaar, right? Mm-hmm. What do you want for the food bazaar, Dutor?
Everything that is Agblor kitchen.
By the way, you know he's a good cook, so what is that? What are you going to expect to eat? Tell us about what you experienced with Agblor food.
Oh, there's one. Mm-hmm. Maybe Ayiko.
Yeah.
That is like the usual apapraza with beans. Mm-hmm. You know, it's very tasty. And so that one,
we have to have that one.
It's the special.
I'm going to say that you invite everyone to come and eat.
Yes, to come and eat and experience that delicious meal. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, well, we have a lot. So then I also do have a favorite thing that I want to do, which is the Miss Agblor. Miss Agblor is thrown out to all the 36 states. So we're going to have a beautiful beauty pageant. And I have...